everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope everything's going your way today. Today, I'm coming you with an eye look. Yes, today I'm coming you with an eye look, swatches and review of the Mercury Retrograde palette by Huda Beauty. Yes, the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. So, if you want to see how the palette performs and get my take on this here palette, then just keep everybody, let's get started. Man. Okay, guys, so yeah. Your girl knows she's late to the party. Come to you guys, my peeps, with a review of this here palette. And to tell you the truth, guys, a review almost didn't happen. Because between the swatches that I saw of mattes in the palette, coupled with the underwhelming reviews I saw out there on the tube about this palette, yeah. Because between the swatches that I saw the mattes in the palette, coupled by the many underwhelming reviews out there on the tube about this palette, I was actually reluctant to give Huda Beauty my coin. But after the Sephora holiday event came right after the launch of the palette, yeah, your girl just had to get it. So first, let's talk about the packaging. The packaging is really cute. It has Mercury Retrograde Huda Beauty written on the front. And it also has a picture of a woman with a bomb.com eye look, which I assume could only be Huda herself. And I don't know if you can exactly see it, but the front of the palette is totally iridescent. And on the back of the palette, you'll find the different finishes of the shadows in the palette. Indication letting you know that this palette has a 24-month shelf life. You'll find all the Huda's handles on the bottom. You'll find the net weight of the palette. Yeah. And like I do with most palettes, I don't find any indication that this palette's cruelty-free because I don't see the cruelty-free bunny. But if I find out, I'll let you know in the description box on the screen somewhere. The net weight of the palette is 16.1 grams / 0.56 ounces each. And this palette was made in Italy. As my girl Kinky's Web would say, this palette was made in Italy. And just like Huda's most recent mini palettes, this palette is made of a nice high-grade plastic. The palette has a full-size mirror, but then again, most, if not all, of Huda's palettes do. And when you open her up, guys, here are the colors. Would you look at them? Would you look at them? Would you look at them? The palette has 9 mattes, 6 metallics, 1 glitter powder, and 2 multi-reflective shadows. And I'm actually holding the palette to the side because I don't want you to be blinded by the reflection. But looking at this palette, the palette is absolutely stunning. But as gorgeous as this palette is, guys, it doesn't scream fall to me as much as it does spring. Because if you remove the bottom row, guys, you have in front of you a Eastery spring pastel-y palette. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the palette is still quite beautiful to look at. And I'm actually wearing this palette on my eyes today. I use Hot Mess on my outer crease, Haze on my inner crease, Karma above Hot Mess, and Utopia above Haze. I use Frazzled on the first part of my lid, Supernova on the second part of my lid, a combination of Cosmic and Supermoon as my inner corner highlight. I use the combination of Hot Mess and Karma to smoke out my lower lash line. I use Vortex to deepen up my outer V. And I must report, guys, after using every single shadow in the palette, me and the Mercury Retrograde have a love-hate relationship. So first, let's talk about the mattes. Every single matte in the palette almost definitely standard Huda Beauty mattes. Every matte in the palette blends like a dream and has little, if any, fallout. But then again, guys, it's not the quality of the mattes in the Mercury Retrograde palette that are currently up for question. When looking at the mattes in the palette, they are my fair skin beauty's dream, my medium skin beauty's power nap, and my dark skin beauty's nightmare. Because my fair skin beauties can benefit from every single matte in the palette, my medium skin beauties can use almost every matte in the palette but must tread lightly. As far as my dark skin beauties go, these 3 mattes at the bottom are your jam. And maybe this turquoise color up here with a white base, but even then, guys, it's a stretch. And another thing, guys, the mattes in the color story of this palette makes this a one or the other palette. Because when looking at this shade Crash and this shade Momentum, we could have certainly used one, but we didn't need both. Because this shade Momentum and this shade Crash, they have the same exact amount of ashiness. And as far as this shade Off Balance and this shade Utopia, we could have definitely done with one, but we didn't need the other. Because this shade Utopia and this shade Off Balance here have the same exact amount of underwhelming. And as far as this shade Libra and this shade Haze, I feel that one could have been darker. And it really doesn't matter which one, guys, because either one would be an improvement. A total missed opportunity to incorporate darker mattes in their place. But as far as Vortex and Hot Measure, both of those mattes in the palette are bae. Because Vortex, while looking chocolate in the pan, is actually a nice deep purple with an eggplant undertone, as you will see when I do the demo. And Hot Mess has a beautiful mauve undertone that complements Vortex quite well. But about these shimmers, though, the shimmers are bae. While a lot can be said about the palette, one thing can't be denied. The shimmers are bae. Just look at the shift in the shimmers. Each of the shimmers in the palette definitely has something that makes them unique. And no matter what shimmers you layer on top of the other, they transform into something magical. Now, one thing I most definitely agree on with the consensus regarding the shimmers in the palette is that one technique definitely doesn't fit all. Because when using Ultraviolet, Nebula, and Mercury, I found it almost impossible to get the shadow to stick to my brush. So I'm quite sure that those shades would apply best when using a finger. But your girl Lily here doesn't do fingers, so that's that. And when using Nebula, I just simply wet my brush, but I ended up with quite a bit of glitter fallout. So I would say when using the shade Nebula from the palette, it's definitely best to use a glitter glue. But I would most definitely say, guys, that the shimmers are definitely the superstars in the palette. So now for the $1 million question. Do I recommend the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette? If you're looking for a practical palette that you can grab off the shelf, create and go, then I would say the Mercury Retrograde palette is probably not for you. But if you're someone who's okay with embracing the beauty and uniqueness of the shimmers in the palette, don't mind pulling in another palette to help you out on the matte tip. Love Huda Beauty Shadows and our collector there. I would say this palette is absolutely, definitely, positively for you. The palette runs for $67, but Sephora's currently got a holiday event sale going on, and depending on your status, you can get between 10 and 20% off online and in store. And while the mattes in the palette are most definitely lacking in that they're not all inclusive, the shimmers are better. I'm keeping it. So now that we got that part done, enough all the yapping. First we're going to get into the swatches, and then we're going to get into the eye look. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. It only gets greater later, guys. It only gets greater later. So until next time, guys, stay real, stay positive, stay up, and damn it, you better watch, fight, and pray. Let's get into these swatches, though. Hello. We got Cosmic, Utopia, Ultraviolet, and Nebula, Mercury, Haze, Off Balance, Galaxy. We got Libra, Crash, Momentum, and Supernova. We got Vortex, Hot Mess, Supernova, Karma. We got Gold Glit and Frazzle.
How you feel is not my
That's gorgeous.